What's up, y'all? I know I promised I'd come back the next day, but I didn't. Even though I did work, it was actually busy and I didn't have time to chit chat with y'all. But I made some overtime money, so there's that. What would I spend it on? Don't know. I'm always working, can't enjoy. Other than that, my weekend was good. I went to my nephew's football game. They scored 0 points, and it was 100 and something degrees outside. But you know what? Sometimes aunties gotta show up regardless, right? So I felt bad for them little guys out there. He's like in the little third, fourth grade league, and it was hot. The little boys were struggling, but yeah, did that, and that sun wore me out. Went to sleep. I watched some TV. Look, I'm already on. I'm not gonna fall asleep on this podcast though. But did that. Husband and I went out to dinner. And yeah, just chilled, and now we're back at it again. Off to another week. I'm sending nothing but blessings your way. Renewal is a new month. Happy October 1st. I pray that the harvest is plentiful. This is the harvest month, and this is the harvest season. So hopefully you guys are reaping a big harvest this season. Let's get into some football, because that is, besides Taylor Swift, that is the talk of the town at all times. So let's get into some scores. So we had Chiefs won 23-20 over the Jets. The Cowboys beat the Patriots so bad. Bill Belichick, I saw him holding his head. Bill Belichick then fell off. But they lost pretty bad, 38-3. The Lions beat the Packers 34-20. Jaguars beat the Falcons 23-7. The Rams beat the Colts 29-23. The Ravens beat the Browns 28-3. Thank you to Lamar Jackson. I actually won my fantasy football league this week, finally. Not all hope is lost, but it might be, because I had Deshaun Watson as my backup quarterback, and he's hurt. So now I need a new quarterback ASAP. The Vikings beat the Panthers 21-13. The Titans beat the Bengals 27-3. The Buccaneers beat the Saints 26-9. The Bills whooped on those Dolphins 48-20. You know, everybody was like Tua, and Tyreek, and they got a beat. They got some real competition. The Broncos won. They came back. Oh, I'm so happy for Russell Wilson, man. When I saw that score earlier, it was bad. But they finally won 31-28. Hooray, Russell. I'm so happy for you. You finally won. I hope this is the beginning. But you know what? The Bears really suck. But I'm just excited for that man. He hadn't won anything. The Eagles beat the Commanders 34-31. The Texans beat the Steelers 30-6. The Chargers beat the Raiders 24-17. The 49ers beat the Cardinals 35-16. And like I said, Cowboys beat the Patriots 38-3. And then tomorrow the Seahawks play the Giants. So yeah, kudos to Russell Wilson. I was getting scared, Russell. I thought they was just going to sit you down. You know, I was wondering why Sierra was dancing around with that baby in her belly. But yeah. The Canada wildfires are still putting the clouds over New York and the rest of the world. Attorney General, that's stupid. I don't want to read it. There's some new show called Telemarketers. It's a docu-series, and the guy that's in it, he's missing. New York student has been detained in Dubai for months for touching the airport security guard during a 10-hour layover. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta stop. Why y'all even go to Dubai is my first question. One couple packed up an RV and drove 1,300 miles to give birth in Virginia to escape the high black maternal rates. Yeah, I'm not shocked about that. I don't know why Arnold Schwarzenegger is talking about his affair with his housekeeper, but he said it was an F up. But can't be too much in an F up, dude, because you had a child out of it. Vigilante pedophile hunter killed while confronting teens. I'm going to do a story time on this, so we'll talk about that later. Let's see. A New York woman who fatally shoved a singing coach, 87, sentenced to 8 years in prison. She fatally shoved an 87-year-old. I think she didn't think that one through. Armed homeowner steps in after girlfriend's estranged husband breaks in. Dang. Strikes are still going on. Nobody's talked about that yet. An inmate convicted of past murder kills a Georgia jail guard with homemade weapons. Y'all gotta be careful. Those corrections officers' jobs don't pay that much money, but those are still killers up in there. I used to be one, and I'm telling you, I used to let them dudes do mostly whatever they wanted. I wasn't talking to them crazy, because they're like actual criminals. Illinois' father and his 2 children are among those killed by ammonia released from semi-trucks. Church roof collapses in Mexico, killing and injuring several. There's that. Now, when I say I let them do whatever they wanted, I mean within the confines. They weren't like escaping or nothing, but I wasn't mean to them is what I mean. I was talking to them like they were human. Some people put on that corrections officer badge and they kind of let it go to their head, and then the next thing you know, you beefing with a real criminal and you only making $13 an hour, and I'm just saying it ain't worth it. So this guy who supposedly killed Tupac, we'll see how true it is, but there's been some indications that he's implicating my nemesis Diddy, which I'm not shocked about that. Let's see what else. What's in the news? The shutdown was evaded. They extended it for 45 days. A lot of people were calling football today the Taylor Swift show. That's how much she's taken over the Chiefs since her and Kelsey are fake dating. I still don't believe they're truly dating. But you know, there's that. Let's see what else we got here, y'all. Girl Scout cookie prices have increased again. I have not bought a Girl Scout cookie in so long. I only like those little short bread or whatever those things are. But yeah, it's been forever since I bought one of them. Judge Mathis' son got engaged. A man arrested for using a flip device to dodge tolls. Interesting. This New Jersey driver Friday, a minute after he was caught using a license plate flipping device to bypass paying for tolls at the George Washington Bridge. Adam Jimenez now faces theft of service, tampering with public records, possession of burglar tools, and possession of fraudulent documents. According to the charges, he also issued a summons for an uncleared place. This isn't his first time getting caught trying to avoid paying a toll. He was previously arrested in February for trying to get out of paying a toll. Authorities say during the incident, he would allegedly use a remote control electronic curtain to cover his license plate. Police say there have been 16 instances at George Washington Bridge of police arresting or issuing summons to drivers using electronic devices that obscure your license plates. According to them, I didn't even know they had nothing like that. But that dude must really not want to pay a toll if he's going and doing all that, because wow. Wow. So Dwayne Keefe is the guy that's supposed to be indicted. He was on part of the Southside Compton Crips, and he's supposed to be the person that killed Tupac. And a lot of people are alleging that Diddy had like either paid him to do it or something like that. I'm not sure how much, how, and what, but yeah. Alright, let's get into these Reddits, y'all. I can't believe it's Monday already. Like, it goes so fast. What is the biggest lie told to people in human history? Shoot, there's so many of them. I'll let y'all tell me. I acknowledge that I've read and agreed to the above terms and conditions. Yeah, people don't read them. The war won't last long. Your call is important to us. We are family and care about our employees. Yeah. Push flap to open on the Kraft and cheese. Yeah. Those things never just open. Please listen carefully as our menu options have recently changed. Press 0 anyway. The baby is beautiful. Yes, I'll remember to cancel subscription just before the free trial ends. Y'all better start remembering though, for real. That's what I do love about Google. Google will remind you of what you're still paying for. It's like, what? You won't always have a calculator. True. We did, in fact, always have calculators. No strings attached. Looks don't matter. Money won't make you happy. You know, I'm still trying to test out that theory. Let me get some money and testify. Most boys are told how to treat women, but what would you tell your son or male friend 5 things they should expect from a woman they are partnered with? You will not win a fight with a woman. That's number 1. They want 5. Remember anniversaries, birthdays, yada yada. Sweet nothings go a long way. Hygiene is supreme being, and be spontaneous sometimes. Like, don't always let her come up with everything you do. What would your reaction be if your sister or daughter told you she was a high and escort on the side, making an additional $150,000, $200,000 yearly income in a safe way? If my sister told me that, I mean, my daughter, I would not like it, but if my sister told me that, I mean, I would say to any woman, like, that's not gonna, get the money how you live, because once you've done it too much, you kind of are no good. It's kind of crazy. Me and my husband were talking about this earlier, how like women that like use their body for money, how could you be in a regular relationship? Because what can a regular man do when you can just get paid to talk to somebody else, especially if your regular man is not paying or whatever. I mean, it kind of ruins it for the regular guy in a normal relationship, in my opinion. Let's see. Do people like hairy chest? I don't like you to shave your chest. If you have hair, keep it. I don't like shaved chests. Yuck. I don't like prickly. What is something that you're for sure the U.S. government is hiding from us? Man, too much. The actual actual truth that we can print off as much money as we want, and this debt thing that they play around with, not really real. We already know about the alien stuff. I mean, the lies are endless, but let's see what you guys are saying. The entire Congress is busy winning in the stock market with insider information and couldn't care less about doing their jobs. True. Epstein's list, yeah. Cheese, big blocks of cheddar cheese. They use them to give away decades ago, but you never hear of them now. And what happened to the government cheese? UFOs, not the alien kind. I'm talking about super high and secret stuff the military has and is still testing out. They definitely have equipment that they are not showing. And the location of nuclear submarines. Carcinogenic chemicals associated with mass food production. Yes, our food is just done. Who really killed JFK and who killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? All the above. Jimmy Hoffa. None of the numbers add up. 3 to 4% inflation does not total up to doubling in prices for food, fuel, and vehicles, and 14% somehow translates to 90% in hiring. Yeah, I do think they're trying to force people to go back to work because people aren't working. But I think that people are really just like, I'm not going back to work no matter what. What item did you not realize was expensive until you became an adult? Speaking of cheese is very expensive. Somebody said furniture. Inflation is out of this world since I'm an adult. New tires, yes, new tires are beyond expensive, especially if you have a truck. Divorces are very expensive too. I wish, because see, not everybody has big weddings, and I think like if divorce certificates cost as much as wedding certificates, marriage certificates, people would think twice, because divorce is very expensive. Food is both more expensive and goes bad quicker. Yeah, food. Yeah. Let's see. What's a piece of men's clothing you hate? For me, I hate them hiking boots. I hate those. And I hate construction boots too, like when you just wear them for fashion. I hate sweater vests too. A sweater vest has to go to the top of the list. Somebody said flip-flops, hats, boxer shorts. I love boxer shorts. Wife beaters, puffer vests. Yes, puffer vests on men are just... Dress shirts. Somebody said dress shirts. Suits in general, ripped jeans. I'm not a fan of the ripped jeans on men. Man, what has a woman judged you for and why? Pretty much everything: salary, appearance, hobbies, not drinking, not smoking, not dancing. My hair, mansplaining, my height. Pretty much men are saying they just get judged for everything. Some man said a woman judged him for being left-handed. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's get into these story times. Let's get it popping. I want to check one thing. I want to make sure my son let down my garage. This guy always comes home. Alright, you did it. Good. Alright. Let's get into these story times. Why don't we? Alright, so this is about the child predator man. Not him, but the guy that catches them and somebody killed them.
That man known to pose as a teen girl online to catch predators was shot and killed last night in that same city. Police say Robert Lee was inside a restaurant when he accused another man of being a pedophile. Lee was shot multiple times and later died at the hospital. Our Jacqueline Francis has been following this story for us tonight. And Jacqueline, a vigil was held tonight.
Now, Robert Lee had a reputation for tracking down these alleged predators, and tonight friends and family gathered to remember him. Robert Lee was known for exposing those who troll teens online, using social media to pose as an underage girl luring in predators.
Caught 35. He'll be number 35 that I caught.
This is from an interview we did with Lee last year after he outed a sheriff's deputy for allegedly trying to solicit sex from a minor. That deputy was fired as a result. He kept going from there until last night when a confrontation cost him his life. Police say he confronted two men inside a Coney Island in Pontiac. Lee accused one of them of being a pedophile and punched him. In return, one of the men pulled out a knife, the other a gun, and shot Lee to death. At a vigil outside the restaurant, friends and family mourned his death.
We're going to honor his memory. We're here to show support and show that, you know, everything he did was not for nothing. We're here to show that he really made an impact on the community.
From the get, police have called Lee's work well-intentioned but dangerous.
We know he has good intentions from this, and we've actually suggested to this individual multiple times, this is really dangerous, and here's some of the problems and pitfalls with doing this, and tragically it played out that way.
Two men were arrested today in connection to the killing. Police say the suspected shooter is 17 years old and the other man is 18. Reporting live tonight, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, thank you, Jacqueline.
It's really sad, and it does show like how dangerous, but I get wanting to catch these people. Like, it is like, I see how it can become a passion to try to get these people off the street, and there's a lot of people that do it on their own. I guess he was a one-man show. Unfortunately, he should have definitely had backup when he was doing that.
The more I think about it, the scariest crimes are the ones that you really don't see coming. This is Sahara Fakir, and she's originally from Ohio, but she moved down to Georgia. Now, Sahara was kind of a loner. She didn't work a lot. She was on disability because of her weight, her size. She also would just go to prayer service and then come home, and that was pretty much all she did. Now, Sahara, she was obsessing over her weight. She was trying all different types of diets. She was going swimming at the local YMCA. She was doing everything that she could, and she thought because she had this gluttonous spirit that Allah was punishing her. Now, personally, she did a lot of journaling, a lot of reflecting, and most of that was self-hatred, where she was talking about her just lack of positive body image, and she thought that Allah was punishing her. She was like, I promised Allah that I would stop eating sweets and that I would cut back and I would diet and exercise, and I'm not doing that, so Allah is constantly punishing me. And this kind of sent her on a spiral. Now, she had a next door neighbor named Jerry Wheeler. Now, Jerry Wheeler was a 66-year-old man, family guy, owned his own business, and other than the fact that she could see their house from her window, they really didn't have much interaction. However, Jerry's son was a police officer, and Sahara did not like police officers. If you were a police officer, if she thought that you were a reptilian, if she thought you were a part of the Illuminati, if she thought that you were a part of the Masonry, she was not messing with it, okay? And she was very, very vocal about her feelings towards this. So one day, Jerry is by himself at home. He's cooking himself some dinner. His wife is gone to Florida with her sisters. And then in burst Sahara. She is A, barefoot, B, she is over 6 feet tall, she is over 400 pounds, and her and Jerry get to tussling. She hits Jerry over the head with a blunt object, and then she starts stabbing him. She then rolls him up into a rug and then just leaves his body there for his son to find later. I will admit that his son was acting real suspicious, but we can talk about that later. It took a little bit of detective work, but that barefoot, bloody footprint came back, and guess who it was a match for? Sahara said there was no way that she did this, and honestly, she thought that this was just another form of punishment from Allah for her gluttonous spirit.
And if you are judging me, you're not God-fearing, Allah will have judgment from you, and everyone else is not God-fearing. Understand that.
They ask her if she wants a lawyer. She says no, she doesn't want a lawyer. Allah will be her lawyer. And the conspiracy theories that she believes are a mile long.
Fox 5, really? Like Illuminati, reptilian news channel. Really?
And based on the evidence, it seems like she never had an interaction with this man. And most people just believe that they saw his son going back and forth in the police officer uniform, and she just happened to assume that he was also a police officer. So really, this man died for nothing. But either way, the conspiracy theories that you hear along the way of this trial are wild. If you want to get the ins and outs of this twisted case, listen to Sisters Who Kill podcast for more.
When you think them people are reptiles, it can get crazy.
21-year-old Alexis Janae Crawford was a warm and welcoming person who had a very bright future ahead of her. She graduated from Clark Central High School and wanted to pursue a criminal justice degree in college. Once she made it to college, everyone was pretty much drawn to her, but one person that automatically clicked with her was Jordan Jones. Jordan and Alexis bonded well right away and soon became best friends. On October 26, 2019, Alexis, Jordan, and Jordan's boyfriend, 21-year-old Baron Brentley, decided they were going to go out to a bar to have a few drinks and have some fun. Throughout the night, the three of them had plenty to drink. As a matter of fact, they drank a little too much and became very intoxicated, so they ended up having to leave early to head back home. Once they made it back to their apartment, Jordan started to feel sick and decided she was going to lay down on her bed. About an hour later, she woke up because she had to use the restroom, but when she tried to open the door, she noticed it was locked. Jordan then begins to knock on the door, and within a split second, her boyfriend Baron walked out shirtless while fixing his pants. As she went into the restroom, she saw Alexis lying on the floor, unconscious, and just wearing a bra. Jordan immediately started questioning him, asking,
"Why were you in the restroom with her? What did you do?"
Baron, who was now standing in the living room, said,
"Man, I ain't touch her. I ain't her either."
This caused them to get into a heated argument until Baron got fed up. He then grabbed the keys to her 2017 Chevy Cruze, ran out of the apartment, and then drove off. Jordan, who was running after him down the streets, turns around and heads back to their apartment to call the police.
911 operator 7378. What's the address of the emergency? Daniel Street. You need police, fire, EMS? Yes, because my ex-boyfriend just stole my car. Took my keys and ran, and I'm about to.
Jordan also stated on that call that she thinks something happened to her friend, but wasn't sure. After making the report, she then called a friend of her older sister and asked if she could come over. When Britney arrived, she walked in and saw Alexis sitting on the floor, crying hysterically. So, she asked her what happened. This is when she informed Britney that Jordan's boyfriend assaulted her. Alexis was taken to the Grady Memorial Hospital to make sure she was okay. While she was in the hospital, the police arrived and questioned her about what had happened that night. She tells them,
"Before I passed out, I remember Baron was touching and kissing on me or something like that. I really truly believe he did something to me while I was unconscious."
This prompted the nurses to run a medical examination to verify if she had been assaulted. And when the results came back, they found out that Alexis' suspicions were true. Baron's DNA was discovered in her. After this, the police immediately put out a warrant for Baron arrest, and not even an hour or so later, he was apprehended and put in jail on charges of Barron eventually bailed out and went straight back to his girlfriend Jordan to try to convince her that he was so drunk he thought Alexis was actually her in the bathroom that night, and that is the only reason he did what he did. Of course, she believed him and the two made up. Alexis couldn't understand why Jordan would even believe Barron, let alone take him back, especially after what she told her he had done. This caused their friendship to end, but Alexis made it clear that Barron was not allowed back to their apartment. Now after this incident, it was reported that Alexis had contacted her friends and told them,
Girl, I'm so afraid to sleep in my bedroom that I done started sleeping on the couch in the living room.
At the time, she didn't realize it, but her conscience was just letting her know the threat was still close around because Jordan never kicked her boyfriend out. In fact, on October 27th, Jordan snuck Barron back into the apartment and let him stay in her room for the next few days. On October 30th, 2019, at approximately 8:45 p.m., Alexis sent a text to her sister asking, "What are you doing for the weekend?" This would be the last time anyone would hear or speak to her again.
That's wild.
Time out to come here.
Because we wish to spread our message.
And give me the principal tenets of your message.
We are a collective conscious and a cyborg sent from the year 2050, sent from a higher civilization to warn people of the incoming apocalypse.
How will it end?
With environmental disaster, technological singularity, disease, and famine.
And will you fall victim to that demise at the same time, the collective you?
Our body will, the real Orin body will, but the collective will stay alive.
And the collective will exist in what plane? I mean, will the planet still be here?
The planet will be destroyed.
Okay, will you be mechanized by then?
We are already mechanized.
But you're not mechanized now.
We are. There is a brain implant, which is how we speak to you right now. Orin is but a shell.
Okay.
You don't have a brain implant.
So, as you sit here now, you're mechanized.
Correct.
Okay, because I thought I understood you to say that you are becoming mechanized.
Yes. We will become fully mechanized as in the commercial sense shown on our shirt.
Okay,
but we are already mechanized.
But not fully?
No.
Okay, just partially mechanized.
Correct.
What part of you is mechanized?
Our brain, our legs.
Okay, your legs are mechanized?
Inside, yes. We've had operations.
Okay, so if we x-ray your legs, we would see mechanized legs, not bone and muscle.
Correct.
Would not be the same.
It is a combination of flesh and steel.
Right.
We are not saying that we are invincible. We are saying that we have merged with technology, with machine.
Right.
In order to stay alive.
I've got really crappy knees, so I
Understood.
would love to have mechanized legs. It'd be a great thing. What do cyborgs do for fun?
Learn.
What do cyborgs think is humorous?
We do not know.
Are there any cyborg jokes, like 3 cyborgs walked into a bar?
Humans think that the world will last forever. That is a lie. That is funny.
Yeah. Okay. Do you form relationships?
Yes. We must get out our message and collaborate with people.
And you say you don't want to tie yourself up with a job because if you have a job, you can't spread your message.
Correct. Our job is spreading the message.
I have a job and spread my message. I mean, it works for me. And that's why you do your music, right?
Correct.
When did you find that you had musical talent? Have you always had that awareness?
There's always been an interest in sonics, yes. Humans are innately connected to rhythm and beat.
Do you enjoy the music?
It is pleasing, yes.
Dr. Phil's show must really be falling off because he has to interview a cyborg. And why a cyborg chose to go to talk to Dr. Phil, I have no idea.
This is Christian Fernandez, the 12-year-old who killed his 2-year-old stepbrother in a fit of rage and became the youngest person in the United States to be charged as an adult with first-degree murder. What would make someone so young commit a crime so gruesome? And where were his parents when this happened? Let's explore. 12-year-old Christian Fernandez lived in Jacksonville, Florida with his mom, Vianella Susanna, and his 3 siblings. He was the oldest, so whenever his mother left home, he would watch over his 2 brothers and sister. On March 14th, 2011, their mom went to run some errands and left Christian in charge as always. When she returned home, she found that her 2-year-old baby David was unconscious and bleeding out of his nose. Christian reportedly told his mom that David fell off the bunk bed and became unconscious. Susanna, the mother, saw that her infant son was in a bad condition, but instead of calling 911 or taking him to an emergency room, she simply changed his clothes, cleaned his face, and applied some ice to his head. Then she set the toddler aside and waited for him to wake up on his own. It was reported that Susanna thought her son was suffering from a concussion and he would wake up soon, so she never thought to get him medical help. Instead, she spent the next 4 hours surfing the web. Though the mother of 4 claimed that she spent the time researching head injuries, hoping to find something to help her son, her browser history proved something different. Susanna spent 4 hours watching YouTube videos, listening to music, doing some online banking, reading news stories about Pippa Middleton, checking her email, and occasionally looking up websites about concussions and comas. Yet, none of it encouraged her to have her son, who was still unconscious.
That's crazy, y'all.
Britney Spears' mom is reportedly struggling to pay her bills after being cut off. Now working as a substitute teacher. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with a substitute teacher. Hell, my mama she works as a substitute around Panama City, Florida. She had a few different schools, okay? What I'm trying to figure out with Miss Lynn Spears, her name Lynn, and my mama named Lynette. Yeah, this sounds like she's a little entitled. So basically, she put her name on lists, and when teachers call out in that district, she show up to that classroom and get her ass cussed out and laughed at because, are you Britney Spears' mom? Yes. Well, what you doing here? Your daughter naked on the ground holding knives. Is them knives for you, Miss Spears?
It's Britney, bitch.
Yeah, her daughter trying to cut her. That's why she here. Listen, y'all ain't seen Britney Spears with that video she had on the bikini and she had them knives. I was worried myself. I was like, sweetie, you a little too close to the body, okay? This unexpected career move comes after yet another bitter fallout with her daughter, Britney, following the termination of her conservatorship in 2021. Because her parents had a conservatorship over her, and they were just living off her money and giving her a stipend and allowance. So how you gonna give you an allowance with your own damn money? The outlet further claims that Lynn, who previously filed for bankruptcy, girl, ain't nothing wrong with bankruptcy. What's wrong with that? Has a debt of more than $600,000 stemming from the legal battle 2 years ago about Britney's freedom. How you gonna sue your daughter with her own money that you had legal rights to because you told them folks down there at the court that she was crazy? Now, I know it looks that way. I'm not arguing with you there. But how you gonna initiate a lawsuit against your daughter who just wants her money and doesn't want an allowance from her own money? Use her money to sue her and then expect her to pay her money to use her money to pay your legal bills that you used to sue her with lawyers that was paid with her money. What the fuck? Britney should have stopped getting allowance the moment she graduated high school. Y'all have milked her and wasted her money. She don't owe you shit. She don't owe you a damn thing. Even motherfucking thing. As we would say down here in South Florida. Britney, baby, keep cutting up.
It's Britney, bitch.
Keep cutting up, baby. You got it. Let's go. Miss Lynn, it's time for you to use the latter part of your years to get back, okay? Because you're supposed to be with your grandkids. That's what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not. Moving on.
Yeah, they should have took notes out of Kris Jenner's book because Kris Jenner gonna have a bag whether her daughters are broke or not. I would think, like, if my child was famous, I'd start some consulting agency for other parents that want to make their kids famous because Lord knows People would love to know the secrets on how to get your kid on Disney and stuff. I'm surprised she didn't, with only 2 daughters in the business, like, why wouldn't you start your own businesses to have your own stuff flowing? Because eventually your kid's going to grow up and have their own kids and have their own money. So, yeah. Well, man, I wish my kids grow up, get rich, and have some money, and I can make a little bank off of them. It's only fair. Why can't we reciprocate that way? We take care of them for 18 years. They take care of us for 18 years. I think we can call that even, right? What is very even is that we're back here on Level Playing Ground, and we're back to start another amazing week. I don't want to say work week because life is so much bigger and better than that. And I pray that y'all find something out of y'all 40 hours of work to do that you enjoy. I know I'm going to try. Is it in yet? It's signing off. I'll see y'all tomorrow.